Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today, in this occasion, I would like to tell you about something that currently happened and that currently being a hot topic in my region. This topic is entitled the Gunung Gede Pangrango Hidden Gem between pro and contra. Ladies and gentlemen, this hidden gem of Gunung Gede Pangrango calls geothermal power plants. This geothermal power plants is planning to be conducted in 2023, which is now, by the region of Cianjur. Comes from the government of Cianjur. But before it, we must know what is geothermal. Geothermal comes from the Greek words. Geo means earth and then thermal means heat. So geothermal can be defined as the source comes from the heat of the earth and it is used for our electricity resource. So that's the means of geothermal projects. Let's move to the case of geothermal projects in Cianjur. On May 2023, the region of Cianjur announced that they are going to conduct it, that they are going to make a new resource that calls geothermal power plants. And it is going to be conducted on Gunung Gede Pangrango. Ladies and gentlemen, as we know that Gunung Gede Pangrango is placed on Cipanas Cianjur, and also this Gunung Gede Pangrango become the second biggest of month in the west of Java. Ladies and gentlemen, turns out this plant is not clearly can be created because there are some demonstrative actions comes from the civils of Cipanas, which are exactly they are rejecting about this plant from the region of Cianjur. They said this geothermal project can be a dangerous thing for us, for people who lives near with Gunung Gede Pangrango. I do feel what they are feeling because I live not very far from Gunung Gede Pangrango. Yeah, I am living very close with Gunung Gede Pangrango. So I can feel their worriness too. Their worriness is about it could be dangerous because when you want to take the resource, so you must be drilled it until you can get the resource. So the resource maybe can be beneficial for us, also be a potential resource, but turns out on the other hand, when you drilled it to get the resource, it could be dangerous for people who lives near with Gunung Gede Pangrango, because as we know that these geothermal projects are going to be conducted on the 5th of the month of Gunung Gede Pangrango. So that's why people so worry because they are feeling these geothermal projects, if it drilled until the surface on the Gunung Gede Pangrango, it could be make any disasters like landslide or even the earthquake. Ladies and gentlemen, did you still remember on 2022 November, people in Cianjur there are suffering because the earthquake Yeah, this earthquake is very big. This earthquake is very big, which caused uh, so many building, so many people died and broken. So people in people in Cianjur, of course, in Cipanas, won't it happen again? They are still being traumatized of that. They are still being traumatized of the earthquake which came in 2022. So that's why people in Cipanas and Cianjur uh, comes to the building of the government to say that we are rejecting this resource because this resource is turned out can be very dangerous for us. So that's the reason why people in Cipanas and Cianjur want these geothermal projects are happening. Ladies and gentlemen, after the negative hands turns out, we know that there are some positive hands of this. For the turn out, anything must be has a positive side. So the positive side of these geothermal projects are these geothermal projects can be a source which very potential to make a big electricity for people who lives in Bali and Java. Yeah, it's very beneficial for us. And then these geothermal projects are allows in any conditions, are allows anything forever, not like any other not like the other resource. These geothermal projects uh, are very beneficial because it is allow us to use whenever. And then the last beneficial is this resource turn out this resource turn out can make this resource turn out can make the can save the nature because it is a renewable resource, which it means which is means that it's safe for the nature. Ladies and gentlemen, the regent of Cianjur said that these geothermal projects actually comes from the central government, which they are found something that very beneficial on the month of on the Gunung Gede Pangrango. So this is why the regent of Cianjur said and statement that we are going to create the new beneficial resource. So that's why the regent of Cianjur said this is not our plans from the region of Cianjur, but it is the plan from the central. We just following the instructions, but when it has so many negative hands, we need to find out so far about what can we do what can we do to decrease the negative thing of these geothermal projects. Ladies and gentlemen, people also stated, people who lives in Cianjur, who lives in Cipanas and Cianjur stated that there is no socialization. There is no socialization comes from the government, either from the region of Cianjur or the central of Indonesia. So that's why people so worry and then make a demonstrative action to reject these geothermal projects. Ladies and gentlemen, after long discussion about these geothermal projects, I can conclude and I can summarize that turn out these geothermal projects are very beneficial for us because as what I highlight the first beneficial for us is it can be a resource, and it can be a resource of electricity, which can be a source of electricity on Java until Bali. But there are also the warningness comes from people of Cianjur and Cipanas, which they are saying that there is no socialization about how safe these geothermal projects, how these geothermal projects are conducting. There are no socialization. So actually, people just asking the socialization either from the region of Cianjur's government, or either it comes from the governments of central Indonesia. So that's why that I am I am going to talk about today. Thank you so much. I'm very happy if these geothermal projects could be conducted, but maybe I can be happier if there is a solution comes from the government. Thank you so much for your attention. My name is Muhamad Lifadhli Nasrullah from Suryakancana University, brings the speech entitled The Hidden Gem of Gunung Gede Pangrango, between pro and contra. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.